And we're back. Unfortunately for you guys this week, it's just me. All of the celebrities that I had lined up were too busy. I think they were riding their bikes or something like that. Can't blame them. I'll be back. End of the month, this bad boy comes off. Until then, been hitting the gym for myself as much as I can, ready to get back at it. So yeah, get into some questions here. First one, worst crash story. That's tough. I mean, I'm here with a bum leg, and you guys might want to know how I did it. I was down in Port Angeles at first Northwestern Cup, second race of the year for me. I had just finished doing a track walk with my buddy Lee Jackson that was here last weekend, and yeah, just doing my first lap down the trail. It was honestly like fun course, pretty mellow course. Basically, just hitting all my lines, nothing too crazy. Near the bottom of the track, there's a bit of a traverse, rock roll kind of ledge thing, flattens out, and then maybe drops like 4 feet and out a couple bike lengths. There's some boulders, and I picked up for it first lap, and the trail, I should have turned a little bit more left than I anticipated, and I ended up pretty close to the race tape. So I was kind of on a trajectory to hit a tree, so I thought I'd pull over. I wasn't going too fast, but fast enough that when I put my foot down, went between two logs, and simultaneously my front wheel hit something, and I got tossed. Yeah, that was like snap. I did some tomahawking, and I had all my gear on, had a little bit of bruising on my elbow, but I was pretty good. But when I stopped, I was upside down. I was hung by my pants, and some younger guy was like, "Oh, you need a hand?" And I was like, "Oh, I'd like to unhook my pants because I'm stuck upside down here." So the guy helped me, and I got right side up, and couldn't really lift my foot. The ligament on the inside was broken, and then my fibula is broken. Honestly, it went numb, so I was kind of more concerned about that because it didn't really hurt. I mean, it didn't feel great, but eventually a medic came up, and she was a really nice lady, but a volunteer, so I ended up getting her to let me use her medical supplies. I work at Peachland Fire Department, and I just stabilized my leg, and Steve Sherlock and Andrew Chandra were just happened to walk down the track, so I got them to pop me on my bike, and I got to use it as a scooter down the hill. So that's what I just did. Worst crash? I feel like there's been a lot of lucky escapes. I was in a train on A-Line a couple years ago, and got windblown as I was mid-whip. Didn't bring it back. Totally ragdolled. Somehow rolled out of the way of everybody else, and was completely fine. So that was pretty sweet. Last fall at Taxco, the urban downhill race, I was following my buddies Remy Mataille and Kirk McDowell into this Sender 50-foot moto ramp thing in the middle of a cobblestone center park in Taxco, and I jumped it once or twice before that, all good. Went a little bit deep, but I was coming in, and I think when you throw your bikes in the back of the trucks, they kind of bang against each other, and my derailleur hanger was bent. This is speculation, but my gears were skipping as I was coming into the jump, and I had kind of got dropped by Remy and Kirk, and so I hooked up with a gear and just put the power down, popped off the lip, and I was probably in a bit of fan frenzy just in the moment, and whipped. As soon as I was at the peak of the air, I knew that I was super pooched, so I knew I wasn't going to make tranny, so I ended up throwing the bike and landed to my feet on cobblestones, just kind of collapsed forward, and either broke or bruised some ribs because it was sore for a long time, and my heel, the fatty tissues in it, I must have compressed it because it was so sore, I was limping on it for a long time. So this is the aftermath of the Taxco crash I was telling you guys about. This is me on the ground here. That's where I landed. That's kind of the end of the dirt there, and my trusty bike hasn't stopped bouncing yet. There's a picture of me. There's the landing. That's kind of me still. I must just be coming down, and I'm gonna land kind of over here. So, takeoff's kind of over here. That's a second story window for reference. I would say pretty lucky. That's me getting some physio at Kelowna Manual Therapy. Thanks, Bill. And that's pretty much it. So, those ones stick out in recent history. You always have stupid crashes, but for the most part, I've been pretty lucky. There's a good one actually. The first time that I went down to Virgin, Utah with Tom and Bass Van Steenbergen. Harrison was there. You were there the first year, Harrison. Tom and Harry made this like canyon gap, and there was a little setup jump before it, and the canyon probably went down 60 feet in the middle, and it was a pretty sketchy run-in. I guess Tom was doing some fear training before he did the first canyon gap, the one that Kelly McGarry flipped and won that year. Anyways, so Tom hit this canyon gap, and it was super sketchy coming in. Bass and I didn't like the look of it. I think we're a little bit more calculated than Tom. No, Tom's pretty calculated, but Tom's also fearless, so he just sent it. And he cased like 50-50 this canyon and then made over with the momentum, but they like foot packed the run in because it was like the super soft shale stuff, and so I hiked up because why not, right? Everybody's hitting this canyon gap, and it wasn't like that far out. It was only a little while. Actually, it made it as a fail of the month, or a nominated fail of the month. I'll show you guys the link, but so I come in and like figure no brakes, like that's talking to Tom. It's like, how'd you go into the canyon last time? No brakes. I'm like, okay, well I'll go no brakes. And so I go to like scrub this setup jump that they have to check your speed coming into the canyon gap. In my opinion, didn't need a setup jump, but I overshot the crap out of it. It's a common theme here, I guess. And landed just kind of like front wheel heavy, ditched the bike, and there's a shrub on the left, and I grabbed it and wrapped myself around it, and like so close to falling headfirst down this massive canyon. So that was probably my craziest crash. I still got a little scar there from the sagebrush. Those have taken a lot of people out in Utah, but I think saved my biscuits. So.
Are they good, Bass? Go for it. You'll be fine. Watermelon!
Yeah, thanks Sagebush. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, here's one. Ed Sard, Bass and Tom's father, asking Papa Tony, is there a story behind that, or is there something we should know? No, I don't have any kids. I've got quite a few bikes, but no kids. That came from Port Angeles a few years ago. Remy Govan, who was here last weekend, forgot his money for signing up for the race. He thought he was pre-registered, so he walked up looking cool into the pre-registered line, and then got kicked out, realized he didn't have any American money to sign up. So I ended up lending him some cash, and I was like, just like came to me like, oh, Papa Tony's got you, no worries. And then Finn Isles was trying to put like the wristband on. I was like, oh, Finn, don't worry, Papa Tony will get your wristband on. And then like Remy that weekend, everybody was losing stuff, everybody needed stuff, and I guess I was just Papa Tony. And then it just seemed to stick. Maybe referring to myself at once in a while, but it kept going. And I guess, I like cooking. I like keeping things tidy, keeping things organized at races. And I guess at the end of that, I was showing Magnus Manson and Forrest at Port Angeles. We're waiting for the ferry, and Bernard Kerr was there. Not at the ferry, but at the race, and he was doing big stoppy Sundays everywhere. So everybody's trying to do nose wheelies, and Forrest, Magnus, like Papa Tony will show you how to nose wheelie. So I seat bounced into this grass bank, and start nose manualing and like just completely misjudged it and basically seat bounced myself over my bars onto my butt onto the grass and then got hit in the back of the head by my bike and everybody was laughing like right in front of an entire ferry lineup. So yeah, not my proudest moment, but there it is, Papa Tony. Also, I'm a lot older than I look, so there's that. From Ripper's Racing Lounge. Does your mom still do your laundry, and does she fold your underwear? You know, I had some assistance while I was immobile. Now this peg leg, I've actually got a peg leg that I can carry stuff with now, so I'm not just bound to these crutches. So she definitely did, but not now. Actually, these crutches are pretty sweet. They don't chafe your armpits, just in the forearm there, so that's pretty cool. What else we got here? That's pretty much it. I think, you know, I'm only a few weeks out now from being able to get some bike checks done for you guys, and I think by the time that comes out, I'll have to get some riding in as well. So maybe we'll make a little edit. Cool. So the tech tip today, we're gonna just talk a little bit about seating tubeless tires. This is a Race Face Arc 30 27.5-inch rim. These rims by themselves don't come taped. So when I'm at races, sometimes it's tough to get tires seated. And it all has to do with the bead seat. I just bring this toe peak pump. I've had it for a long time. It's not even a high volume one. It's got a good gauge in it, but basically what we're going to get into is just talking a little bit about taping rims. So this is a Turbine R wheel. It's also a 30 mil internal width rim. So with this rim, it's got a fairly deep bead seat here, and then nice tall hooked bead for the on the rim there for the tire to bite into. So pretty much, if you're having issues with seating a tire, it's either because the bead on the tire is potentially old, it's been stretched out, or because the bead seat is too low. So like something that I picked up from the syndicate a while ago, they were talking about how much they were running, how many strips, how many passes, so to speak, of Gorilla Tape they're using. So they were using up to 3 passes of Gorilla Tape to raise the bead seat so that the tire would really sit into the channel, into the rim tape. This is a Super Gravity Magic Mary. Sits on there really tight, actually. This is just 1 strip of Gorilla Tape. Basically, start it before the valve, all the way around and past the valve, and that'll hold it on there. From here, like this will seat no problem. You can really feel how it is when you put it on there. So if it's tight, you shouldn't be able to just slip it on there. So that's already getting tight there. And this is good. If you need, I mean, it's kind of slippery. I've got some stands in around it. So it just got on there. I can't, just a little bit of slide there. So to set this up by itself. This is a used Magic, so it's not as tight as one that would just come out of the box, but if you're changing between mud tires and dry tires just for practice, and you're using used tires, then no big deal. The other thing is making sure that your valve is in between the 2 sides of the tire there. Hi Harvey. My cat decided she'd help out. So this is the valve is still, the core is still in the valve. There's no, there's almost no sealant in there. And it's just seating already. You can hear the bead popping. The arc wheel sets have a really nice bead seat, especially in the 30 mil. This is a 2.3 width tire. I've also seated some on the 2.5 in the downhill casing, and those are nice as well. There we go. So that's pretty wicked. Like, it just pops on there, no worries. If you're having additional issues, you can take the valve core out. These are Stan's valves. The one they have like a round profile, whereas the valves that come with the turbine R wheels, they've got that dish to them, so they won't spin inside your rim. So these are definitely a nicer valve, but if you're in a pinch, those work well. Another thing is if you've already got like a nice pre-taped rim strip that comes with the wheels, like with these turbine Rs, and you still want to bring the bead seat up, maybe you're using an old tire that doesn't want to seat or something like that, find out where this starts. So this is the way it's taped. It's taped in this direction. So if you start with tape and go this direction, and you ever want to take, like, say the Gorilla tape off from over top, then when you peel it off, it's not going to unravel the bottom of it, and you're not upsetting that airtight seal. So there you go. Thank you. Yeah, this is nice. I've been attacked by my cat.